All right, what's going on, guys? So in this video, what we're gonna do is we're gonna be bringing you the top 5 winter fragrances for men. So when we think about winter fragrances, you're gonna be thinking about fragrances that are gonna be a little bit more warm, spicy, a little bit more aromatic, maybe even possibly a little bit more gourmand. But you're gonna notice some common themes, very vanillic, very sweet fragrances in these. All of these have my stamp of approval, and we're not gonna waste any time. We're gonna get right into it. So this first brand and this first fragrance that we're gonna talk about, one of my personal favorites and really kind of a name that is fitting. You always kind of love those, but this from the brand of Maison Margiela. This one here is called Margiela's Body Fireplace. So recent breakdown done on this fragrance. This one is gonna come at us with some cloves, gonna come at us with some chestnut, some vanilla, and then you're gonna have some balsam as well as cashmere and pink pepper. So a really nice, warm, spicy, woody, vanillic fragrance, and then that balsam and that amber that you get in it. It's definitely gonna remind you of sort of a nice fireplace, a nice s'mores. You're underneath the blanket instead of going outside in the snow. You're just cuddled up and you're snuggling and you're watching some movies as the time goes by. But this is one of my favorite winter fragrances. It really just smells, like the name encapsulated. And so I love that fragrance. It's definitely a nice indoor sort of cold weather fragrance for the winter time. It kind of reminds you of the holidays, but definitely you gotta love that one. Great find, great price honestly too for a designer. Next fragrance we're going to talk about is from the brand of Armani. Now this one here, I love it just for its projection, for its sillage, and honestly just for its lasting power. This is probably one of the stronger winter fragrances that I have in my collection. But this one here is from the brand of Armani Code. This one here is called Armani Code Profumo. So Armani Code Profumo is gonna be on the more warm amber, spicy. It's gonna have some vanilla in it as well. Okay, you're gonna get that vanilla, you're gonna get some leather, you're gonna get some tonka bean. All right, it's a little bit mysterious too in its nature, right? Because it's almost like a fizzy cola in it a little bit, but done with a really nice vanilla. Think of like diet vanilla Coke done in a masculine way. Not only are you gonna have the vanilla and tonka bean, but you're also gonna have some cardamom to give it some spiciness. You're also gonna have a little bit of green apple in there as well to give it a little bit of, an aromatic fruity touch. And then you are also gonna have some lavender and orange blossom too to give it those floral notes. But nonetheless, one of the probably better price per milliliter fragrances. Definitely one I always tend to grab. I love when winter rolls around and it's cold outside and I get to wear this one out. Nice beast mode compliment, get a beast mode compliment projection as well too. So really love that one. All right, this next fragrance is from one of my favorite designer brands, Givenchy. This one's from Givenchy, gentlemen. Now this one is more on the iris and woody side of the spectrum, right? So the first two, a little bit more vanillic, but they all had their own various characteristics. This next one is gonna be from the brand of Givenchy, and this one here is called Givenchy Gentleman Reserve Privé. Okay, so Reserve Privé is gonna be the more refined gentleman. Think of going out on a student type, but you're going out for a day, you're getting outside the house. This one's gonna have some whiskey, it's gonna have some chestnut, it's gonna have some blues, it's gonna have some iris, which is typical of Givenchy fragrances, and it's also gonna have some bergamot as well. So basically a warmer, boozier iris chestnut fragrance with some more woodsy notes in there. Definitely well blended, well put together for a more refined gentleman, for a more serious gentleman, for a more masculine gentleman. Iris gives it that sort of soapy, clean richness, but then that whiskey gives it that booziness, the woods gives it that masculinity, and then that chestnut also gives it a nuttier core that really makes it appropriate for the winter months, all right? Love that one. All right, next fragrance is our first niche fragrance on the list, and one of my favorites that I've gotten my hands on since I've been able to pull the trigger on it. I got this one off Joma Shop when they have Joma Shop with this brand is known to give some really good discounts from time to time. So when I found out that this one was going on sale, I pulled the trigger on it, and I'm glad I did so. So this one here is from the brand of Parfum de Marley, and this one here is called Parfum de Marley Herod, okay? So Parfum de Marley Herod is gonna be a warm, spicy fragrance. It's gonna come at us with some tobacco. It's also gonna come at us with some vanilla and cinnamon, okay? Now this one is really kind of, it's also gonna hit us with some tobacco. Think Spice Bomb Extreme, but a little bit more tobacco, a little bit less on the cinnamon. This one does have cinnamon in it, but they kind of increase the tobacco note, bring down the cinnamon note, and then add a little bit more incense. They add a little bit more pepper, a little bit more musk to this one too. This one, I think Isoly Super and the musk definitely help this one kind of take the projection to the next level. You definitely can smell the richness, the sophistication in this fragrance. more than say like a Spice Woman Stream. Where Spice Woman Stream to me can kind of only be appropriate for the fall. It's definitely a winter fragrance too, but it's kind of smelling more like Christmas. This to me smells like an all-season type of winter fragrance for me. Herod, one of these. Only thing I'm mad about, I would have gotten a big bottle of this the first time I pulled the trigger on it, but I'm definitely gonna get a second bottle when that one runs out. Great, rich, refined, sophisticated, masculine winter fragrance that you can get your hands on. All right. Last fragrance of the day. You already know what brand I'm gonna probably talk about. This one is from the brand of Jean-Paul Gutierrez, and this one is the more night out clubby version. This one's gonna be the more fruitier end of the winter fragrances, okay? But this one here, I love. This one here is Jean-Paul Gutierrez Ultram. Okay, now Ultram is gonna come out, so this one's gonna be a really sweet, spicy fragrance. It's gonna have some pears, it's gonna have some vanilla, it's gonna have some cinnamon, so a nice, bold, warm, ideal winter night fragrance. Definitely I would wear this out to some type of club if you're going out clubbing. All right, this one's also gonna have some mint, it's gonna have some bergamot and lemon, so more citrusy, fruity winter fragrance rather than the warm spices, the warm cinnamons, the more vanilla. This one does have vanilla, but it's got some fruity aromatic touches and some fresh spices instead of just having that warm spicy touch. This one's also gonna have some lavender in it as well. It's gonna have a little bit of a powdery touch, almost like Reserve Privé does, but it's not so much on the iris, more so on the lavender, on the clary sage, and on the caraway, okay? But definitely one of the better winter fragrances out there, especially for the sweetness that you can get your hands on, really. All right, so let's run it back. So if you want a nice chestnutty, sort of by the fireplace indoor fragrance for the wintertime, boom, you can come with this one, Winter by the Fireplace by Maison Margiela. You want a nice boozy, cozy, but rich and refined, light projecting winter fragrance, you're gonna come with this one here, Armani Code's Profumo. You want a nice refined, boozy, and chestnut with a little bit of cognac, a little bit of whiskey banging, come with this one, Reserve Privé. This was definitely one for the night out, in a black suit and a nice suit and tie. You're trying to go out to the dinner date for the wintertime, you go with that one right there. You want a nice, refined tobacco, musk, maybe you're going to a cigar lounge, maybe you're going out for a business meeting, bang, you're gonna come up with this niche fragrance here, bang, Parfum de Marley Herod. Lastly, you want a more sweeter, more fruitier, more citrusy, aromatic, fruity nighttime fragrance for the wintertime, bang, you're gonna come with this one here, Jean-Paul Gutierrez Ultram. All right, there you go, there you have it, guys. 5 winter fragrances to add to your collection. All of these have my stamp of approval, all different settings. You'll touch every day, night, you know, nightclub, you're going out to dinner, you're going out to parties, you're going out, just hanging out, having a night out, night in. You're gonna touch the whole spectrum with these 5 fragrances, all right? That'll do it. I appreciate all you guys for listening, tap in with the channel. Make sure to subscribe to the channel down below. Make sure to like the video, comment any videos you want me to do going forward, and we'll catch y'all on the next one. Much love.